Hello, Mr. or Mrs. Dog Sitter. My name is Kyle. I wrote this little letter for you when you arrive, 'cause Benjamin really means a lot to me. Please take really good care of him while we're gone, 'cause he's a very sweet boy. Behind this letter is a bunch of rules that my mom left for you while we're gone, so be sure to follow them, okay? Oh! And there's also a drawing of Benjamin in the back of my letter, just in case he gets lost and you didn't remember what they looked like. Okay, bye-bye now. See ya!
Upon arriving, I noticed that the house was completely empty, aside from the large husky greeting me by the door. It seemed happy to see me. As I looked around the place, I noticed a few sheets of paper resting on the kitchen counter. It read,
Thank you for coming on such short notice. I've been meaning to take Kyle to visit his grandma for a long time now, as she lives in the States and flights are expensive. She's not too fond of Benjamin or our house, so please take good care of them. We'll be gone for over 2 weeks at most, but I'll be sure to send the payment over once we get back. I'll be leaving you with some rules to follow for both my dog and the house. Please be careful and try your best to memorize these.
The husky sat beside me as I moved to take a seat on the couch before reading again. Dog rules. 1. Benjamin can't be allowed to leave after dark. He'll be difficult to find after this point. 2. Feed Benjamin at least twice a day with either the dog food in the pantry or some meats from the fridge if he's been good. 3. Clean up after Benjamin every once in a while. 4. Take him on walks every morning. Otherwise, he'll be very vocal about it. 5. Let him rest wherever he pleases, but don't lock him in any room by himself. 6. Play with Benjamin whenever he's staring at you while lying down. It means he's bored and wants to play. 7. Don't let Benjamin into the master bedroom. He'll make a complete mess of it. 8. Bathe him next week, as we've already given him a cold bath before leaving. 9. Give Benjamin a toy if he's being loud. 10. Keep him safe. Bring him to the bedroom with you before you sleep. 11. He is the only dog in our house. House rules. 1. Keep the doors and windows locked at night. Activate the security system as well. Close the curtains. 2. Lock the basement door every night. Key is near the front door. In case you forget, do the action in Rule 8. 3. No food should be brought outside the fridge after 9 p.m. There's a stark difference between the rules for the dog and the house. Reluctantly, I kept reading. 4. Don't answer the door to anyone at night. 5. No cell phone should be left on late at night. If need be, flip it over so that the screen faces downwards or cover it up with something. 6. Don't move if your hand is being licked while you're asleep. It is probably just Benjamin. Just wash it off in the morning. 7. Don't touch any of the picture frames in the house. 8. If the power goes out, bring Benjamin over to the nearest room and lock yourself in with him. You can unlock it once the power is back on. If you've locked yourself because of Rule 2, then unlock after an hour. 9. If another husky with red eyes appears outside the window, close the curtains. It will leave momentarily. 10. Turn off all the lights before going to bed. 11. If you need to use the restroom at night, knock at the door 3 times before entering. If you hear a vocal response, go back and wait for 5 minutes before trying again. 12. Don't open any email you may receive that has "Open Me" in bold letters. 13. Do your chores in the morning. This includes cleaning after Benjamin, doing the dishes, sweeping, etc. 14. No other dog should be in my home. Remember, large black and white, blue eyes, red collar. If there's a difference, shoo them out. 15. Don't go into the basement. 16. Don't break or steal anything from the house. It needs to be respected. 17. Clean up after yourself. 18. Stay alert. Don't tell anyone else about this place, just in case I forget anything. I'll message you immediately. It's better if you take a picture of this on your phone so that it'll be easier to remember. All right, take care. We'll be back soon enough. Benjamin seemed to have fallen asleep beside me. I glanced at the time. 5:14. It's getting late. I quickly started to lock up the doors and windows, including the basement door, as I kept rereading the rules at hand. Maybe it was better not to take on this job. Once I made sure the first few rules were followed, I sat back down next to Benjamin, who was still asleep. Petting him made me slowly tired, but we were both woken up by a banging at the door.
Please help! Somebody, let me in!
The voice sounded like a little girl's. She kept banging at the door, harder and harder. My heartbeat started to quicken as I heard the girl pounding at the door. I could have sworn it would break the hinges. As Benjamin started to growl, the noise suddenly stopped. I sat back down with Benjamin now on my lap as I took a few deep breaths. God, I hope these 2 weeks go by fast.
If you're reading this, you've managed to survive up to this point. But whatever you've been doing up to this point isn't going to work forever. The virus has been mutating to be stronger and more deadly to humans ever since it crossed the infection barrier between us and the animals. It doesn't need us as hosts anymore. To continue your life on this planet, you'll need to start following the rules on this list. Nocturnal animals have started preying on humans as a means to infect them. They are quiet and calculating killers, so you will need to make sure you wake up every few hours during the night, or if you have other survivors with you, sleep in shifts so that someone is always awake. If you hear a noise, you must investigate it. If you don't, and there is in fact a creature, it will bite you in your sleep, leaving you to an awful death by the virus. If there is a creature, you must shine a light on it to distract it, and then kill it, preferably with a quiet long or medium-ranged weapon. The virus has been trying to learn how nocturnal animals work, but it hasn't figured out that light isn't actually dangerous to them, so for now, light will stun infected animals long enough for you to kill them. When you get up in the morning, be sure to cover as much of your body as possible, no matter the temperature. One of the most important is to cover the hands and neck, both of which are targets for the virus's diurnal animals. Thick leather or mesh fabrics with metal interwoven in them are recommended for this. You'll need to try and find as many canned goods and as much edible forage as possible, as hunting is now completely off the table as a source of food. Stocking up before other people get what remains of the available food is of utmost importance. Water is just as important, but you can get that from natural sources such as rivers, streams, lakes, and ponds. Only try the last two, under unfortunate circumstances, as still water is prone to being more dangerous. If you're going to get water from natural sources, you need to bring it to a rolling boil for at least 10 minutes, just to make sure that there are no traces of the virus in it from decomposing corpses, or you could be infected. The virus has adapted much better to the daytime animals, so they are much more dangerous than the nocturnal animals. Smaller animals will try to infect you by biting your hands and legs, while larger animals will just try to kill you by ripping out your throat. Staying far away is the best course of action, but if you can't, try to kill them by any means necessary. It's the next best option. Just don't get bit. If you do, you're done for. Go home and repeat the cycle until you die, or, by some miracle, someone finds a way to get rid of this virus. In case of infection or exposure to infected persons. So you've seen an infected person. You've seen what that virus has turned them into. The virus has made them into husks of flesh, forced to grotesquely walk the earth. The blood vessels under their skin are breaking and turning their whole body into one large bruise, ready to explode and cover the living with infected blood at the slightest impact. In the worst case, you have been bitten or infected otherwise, and now it's most likely your turn to become one of those husks. If you want to even have a chance, you need to follow upcoming rules. If you are bitten at an extremity, cut it off. That is your best chance. Hope that it hasn't spread to the rest of your body. Yes, it's incredibly painful, but you have no better option. Hope to not bleed out or die of infection. If the blood of an infected person has infected you, or if you have managed to somehow get infected in any other way, your only chance of living is to make your body temperature rise as high as you can above 40 degrees Celsius to try and kill the virus. As much as this is your only option, it's also incredibly dangerous, as it might just kill you anyway. So be prepared for that eventuality. And if you have loved ones, prepare them for it as well. If neither of those works and you haven't killed yourself from the solutions given, that means you are going to die. There is no way around it. First, you will start to feel cold as your core temperature goes down to accommodate the virus. Then, starting from your legs, veins and small blood vessels will start to burst, leaving bruises. This will travel up your body. You'll start to lose control of your body and be unable to make your body move in any way. Lastly, the virus will cause small bleeds in your frontal lobe to make you incapable of most forms of higher thinking. That is the last thing you will be able to think about before you functionally die, and your body turns into one of those grotesque husks. There is no cure, there is no hope, and soon there will be no humans.
Hello, before starting your position, please read this set of rules. Remember, you can still back out. But if you decide to continue, please follow this set of rules. We guarantee your safety, As long as you follow these rules, we will also pay you $60 an hour. Email us at redacted, and you will be starting on Monday anyway. Here are the rules.
You'll notice that your office has a flashlight, a camera system, and a baseball bat. If anything is missing, make your way to the receptionist to grab anything that's missing. In front of your office, there will be 4 elevators. Each elevator has a floor indicator, which you'll have to keep track of. Your work hours are from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Your office is the safest place during these hours, so try to stay in your office if possible. This building has floors numbered 1 to 55, except 13 are numbers that contain 4. If an elevator stops on a floor that doesn't exist, take the elevator and press the floor number closest to it, for example, 13 to 12 or 15, 34 to 33 or 35. Once you reach the floor, a 7-foot-tall man will enter. Be sure to make as little movement and noise as possible. He will get off at the next fake floor. Do not exit the elevator with him. If he detects you, either by making noise or exiting the elevator, he will take you to his pocket dimension, never to be seen again. You can't ignore the man in Rule 3. If you are too late, he'll simply come to your floor and take you to his pocket dimension. Sometimes the power may go out. You'll have to restart the power by going to the maintenance room. Be sure to bring your flashlight. 5A, if you hear loud breathing, turn off your flashlight and keep walking. 5B, if you hear loud footsteps, keep your flashlight on, turn back, and shine the flashlight at the creature's eyes. You may stop once you hear a loud shriek. 5C, if you fail to follow Rule 5A or 5B, be prepared to lose a limb. 6, if the lights in your office hallway start to turn off one by one, heading to your office, hide. You may hide in the closet or under the table. Just stay out of sight until the lights turn back on. If you are spotted, run to an elevator and close the door. Don't get caught or you will be dragged to the basement to be tortured. Never seeing the light of day again. 7, you'll have to check the cameras frequently. If a human is being attacked by something invisible in an elevator, press the button near your cameras. This will make the elevator go to your floor faster. Take your baseball bat, and once the door opens, enter the elevator and fight the invisible creature. It is not too strong, so you and the person will always win the fight. After winning the fight, close the elevator. Send the person to a different elevator. If you don't follow this rule, the person will die and you will become the next target. 8. If you see an inhuman entity going to your floor through the security cameras, hide and be dead silent. They should leave in 30 seconds. Note that the elevator plays a sound before opening the doors. This can be another cue to help you survive. 9. A person will be standing on camera 5 the entire night. Watch him for as long as possible. If you ignore him, he will eventually come closer to the camera until he comes out of the camera, strangling you to death. If he comes out, run as fast as possible to the maintenance room. Hold it shut until he leaves. 10. If you see yourself on the camera, locate the vault under your desk. Input the code 4561 and grab the gun. Shoot yourself in the head. Don't worry, you'll wake up in your home at 5 a.m. That is a sign of a universe anomaly. Failing to correct it by shooting yourself will have you trapped in a parallel universe where there is nothing but nothingness. You will still get paid for the night. 11. Before leaving for the night, close and lock the office door. You don't want your equipment to be sabotaged when you need it. That's it. We hope to hear from you soon.